What I'm looking forward to the most is a vision of queer euphoria throughout the event on that day. And what that looks like are people being their authentic selves in a place where they feel like they belong, where there's space for their unique expression to take form, and that can look in so many different ways. I saw people dancing, I saw people crying, I saw people just being in ways that I don't think we're always able to do in the spaces that exist around us. I'm looking to see joy and absolute euphoria.
What's your favorite memory from either last year or years past from the Boston Pride for the Parade?
Oh, I have a couple. I have three. So the first, I talked about this queer euphoria that I want to see among our LGBTQ plus communities and what that looks like. And I remember last year we had just started the parade, the ribbon was cut, and I was moving from the ribbon cutting to our festival space because there were a couple of responsibilities to take care of there. And I remember turning the corner of Boylston Street, moving towards the Common, and there was a sea of people cheering. And I remember looking at the person I was walking with like, is there another event, like literally, is there another event happening? Like, what are all these people here for? And we kept walking, and we got to that point in between the Boston Garden and the Boston Common, and more people, and I was just like, oh my goodness, our little group of volunteers that were just working off a dream created something that all these people have attended, believe in, feel a sense of belonging enough to come here and be in community with all these people. So that feeling was something like I've never felt before in my life. And two other instances related to that is while I was at the festival where we have speakers and entertainers, I was coming down from the stage and someone came towards me and she was like, "Are you the president of this organization?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Girl, I made something for you." When I saw there was a Black woman who was leading this organization, I felt so moved to create something for you. She created these earrings.
That is amazing.
Thank
They're
you.
so beautiful and cute. I love them.
Thank you. She was like, I was so inspired and empowered by what you said about what you all are creating and coming together to do. And you know, that I put that into the creation of this. And I literally feel that every time I put these on. I feel so empowered and fabulous, and just, I feel the spirit of everyone's empowerment when I put these on, and it really motivates and inspires me. And the last moment that is just etched into my mind, I was looking at all the different coverage that we'd received, and there's this one segment, it was a reel actually on Instagram, and it was of a young person from the Boys and Girls Club, and I'm just in bliss thinking about it. They were like, "This is my first Pride, and this is awesome, and I can be here and be myself." And I was just like, the younger person inside of me, like the inner child, was just like, wow, that moment exists for someone, and this moment created that for someone. So just joy, euphoria, all my favorite moments.
Yeah, those are so moving. I'm like touched by that right now. That was, wow. So I'm going to shift to a little bit of a different topic now. You know, with anti-trans bills on the rise, huge election coming up. Why is it important that we hold these safe spaces and we have these Pride events during this political climate?
It's so important for people in our society, our youth, our young people who are the future. They're the current and the future. They got it going on. It's so important for them to know existing as your authentic self is not wrong. Not aligning with the status quo or norms of our society that tend to be binary is not wrong. It's so important for the health and well-being of our people to show the representation of ourselves. It's important that people know that they matter, that they're enough, and that there's a force, there's a movement that is alive and growing despite these bills and laws that are coming into place that are informed by othering and not really seeing the value across our differences. Though that's happening, there is a movement of people that stand by you, stand with you, strong allies. It's so important for our world, for us to celebrate and to show that we are worthy of this acknowledgement, this expression, and that although there are all these things happening in the world, that it is still important to show up as ourselves and that we claim this space in the world as important and valuable people.
Amazing. I couldn't have actually said it better myself. That was right on the money. And lastly, what does Boston Pride for the People hope for the future of the queer community, especially in Boston?
Yeah, two things. A lot of things, but two things that are on my heart right now. One, we have such rich LGBTQ plus communities. We're so intersectional. We have such rich communities, and I think there's so much of an opportunity we have, especially now in this world. And what you mentioned, there's so much an opportunity for us to come together and both live and show the world what it means to come together across differences and support one another. And I think it's critical that we continue that work. And I would say the second thing is I'd love to see folks in our LGBTQ communities see organizations like Boston Pride for the People as a place that they can, or as a place or entity that they can be a part of, that they can grow in, they can lead in. I'm president now. I don't want to be president forever. What I want to do is contribute to something that young person that I just talked about can say, like, I'm going to join a meeting next year, or I want to be in that role. We want this organization that plans our yearly Pride Parade and Festival to, we're malleable, we're fluid to what our community, our city, our state, our region needs. And so I want there to be more unity. I want us to continue to cultivate ways and facilitate spaces where we can come together across our differences. And I want people to feel empowered where they can lead, both in this organization, but just in general. I think there's so much in the world that sometimes may make our LGBTQ communities feel like they can't be in a specific role or have as loud as a voice. And I want to make sure that people see that this space is there for them, and there are other spaces that exist like that for us.
Amazing. And can you just let the viewers know where they can find more information about Boston Pride for the People and if they want to get involved next year or this year?
Yeah, oh my gosh, bostonprideforthepeople.org or bp4tp.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. There are definitely still opportunities to engage. We're still looking for a day of volunteers. There's so much greatness that goes into having the day happen, and we welcome your participation. There's a volunteer tab on our website if you're interested in Day of, and there's also ways to stay connected if you'd like to be a part of the planning process for 2025, which will start in about a month and a half. So we welcome your participation, and if you just want to share the impact that this event has on you or for you, we welcome it as well. Mm-hmm.